Notice my fabulous sign in the background? I made it. If you want to order some, let me know. I need like a couple months in advance. This is really, really hard work. Anyways, hi, welcome to my class. For everyone who joins me, I will be saving this video and reposting it to my YouTube cooking channel and then also on Facebook. So I couldn't get the password on my computer to work so that we could stream this both at the same time. But tonight we are making my delicious coconut snowball cookies. Because I have the camera flipped around, everything is transposed, so you should be able to read that backwards. If not, whatever. If you want the recipe, contact me. It's yummy, and it happens to be gluten free. So instead of gluten flour, using that to bind it, we are using the aquafaba, which is chickpea brine, okay? And that's a binder that we use in gluten-free cooking to give us that binding agent to make things kind of stick together instead of wheat or flour, okay? So let's get started. I have my oven warmed up to 375, and what you'll need is, you guys can't see it, but I have food processor, and then I have all my ingredients. And again, this is all sponsored and here at Natural Grocers, so everything I get is from Natural Grocers. So the ingredients we're using today is all natural organic raw maple syrup, the same thing with coconut oil, the aquafaba from chickpeas or garbanzo beans, then we have the shredded coconut, which is no sweetener added, just raw shredded coconut. And then we have arrowroot powder to make it keto, so that it doesn't have the cornstarch, or paleo, I think, sorry about that. And then real salt, which, if you guys saw my video before, this is a company here in Utah that actually gets this from ancient salt mines that are deep, deep below the earth, but it's sold worldwide, and they have all kinds of products. And we're so lucky to have them here in our backyard in Utah. Thank you, Great Salt Lake. So let's get started. I have all of the ingredients pre-measured out, and there's only 7 ingredients, you guys. So it's super easy, it's super fast, and that's all you need is an oven, a food processor, and then a cookie sheet. I couldn't find a cookie sheet, so we are using this cute little mini muffin pan. Okay, so the first thing on the recipe, it wants us to add 3 cups of shredded coconut. So I'm gonna move, you guys. Ooh. I'm gonna move this light. All right, that's my oven. Okay, so we're gonna add 3 cups of coconut to our food processor, and it's gonna get noisy, so bear with me. And what we're gonna do is we're going to blend this until it gets to kind of a little bit of a sticky consistency, and that will start kind of the binding process. Okay, so get ready to rock. I should plug it in. Okay, there we go. Again, I'm letting it blend, and I'm watching for it to start to bind together a little bit. Start to see it kind of clumping a little bit. Let's test it. Now what we want it to do is, when I squeeze it with my fingers, I want it to stick together. It's not quite there yet. What happens to food and dry ingredients like nuts, coconut, they all have natural oils in them. And so if you blend and process them long enough, those oils start to come out, and that's how we make peanut butter. So at home, my processor is a little bit stronger than this one, so it would be a little bit faster, but it is starting to clump. If you guys can see, when I kind of squeeze it with my fingers, it's sticking together a little bit. So now we're going to add the other parts of the recipe. Ooh, sorry about it. Okay, so here we have 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. And coconut oil is a healthy fat that actually binds to the toxins and the fats in your body, and it actually helps your metabolism, and it helps you burn fat more efficiently. So coconut oil is a really healthy fat if you're trying to lose weight or eliminate cellulite, heavy your body. If you're trying to lose weight, coconut is a great fat. 3 tablespoons of raw maple syrup. That has tons and tons of vitamins, and I actually had someone that didn't know that raw maple syrup comes from trees. So if you guys are not aware, and there's no judgment here, I just take for granted sometimes all of the things that I know, but raw maple syrup, they tap into the tree, and it's the sap from the tree, and they'll tap in and they put like this little metal tube, and it drips out into the bucket. And raw maple syrup, when it is not tampered with, is raw nectar from these beautiful maple trees. We have a lot of them in Vermont, New Hampshire, Northeast. And that is packed full of vitamins and nutrients that are so good for you. And again, we're eating these raw, yummy foods that feed your body instead of diseasing it. So that's why I don't use refined sugars. I use nutrients and sweeteners that actually feed your body and give it vitamins and nutrients instead of breaking it down, causing inflammation and cancer and other bad things, okay? So then we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of aquafaba. So for those of you that don't know, aquafaba is a super fabulous fancy name for the water that is in your garbanzo beans or your chickpea can, okay? So you get this can of chickpeas, and you know how you always drain them out and rinse them? That juice is used as a binder, and it's called aquafaba, so a lot of gluten-free recipes call for that. So another little tip, I like to pierce the can for my main opening, and then I'll just pierce the top for the pressure and the air to let reduce, and then I'll just kind of bend it in, and that way I can get the juice to come out without having all of the beans fall everywhere. So yay, tip for you. So here's our aquafaba, and again it's just the liquid from inside the can. We're gonna add that, and then our big huge giant pinch of sea salt from the earth. I have a big container for that little bitty salt. And then we have our delicious organic pure vanilla extract, okay? And vanilla comes from a bean. If you guys don't know, it comes from a bean, which is also a plant from the earth. And I scrape the seeds out, and then they expel the vanilla extract from them. Okay, so now we're gonna blend this up until it reaches, what does it say? It says mix for 20 seconds to combine. So we're gonna be good, and we'll count. Now that we've combined that, I'm adding the arrowroot, which is in place of the cornstarch, and that's used in a lot of paleo diets. Okay, so paleo cooking also cooks without using any processed sugar. Okay, so I use a lot of paleo recipes as well. So I prefer arrowroot over cornstarch. And we are just going to add that in while it's mixing. not in this recipe, I'm adding a secret ingredient, and it is doTERRA lime. Yeah. So with doTERRA essential oils, as long as it has the supplement fact on the bottle, you can consume it. And I thought, why not make these into key lime coconut cookies? How amazing would that be? So we're gonna add a couple drops. Now for this amount, I like the lime to be able to taste because it needs to contrast with the coconut. So I'm probably going to add 8 to 10 drops of this pure essential oil. And I actually, lime is, any citrus oil is always a benefit to help uplift your mood. But this also helps with anxiety and a bunch of other physical and emotional needs. So consuming these oils higher the vibration of your body emotionally, mentally, physically, okay? So I like to incorporate oils pretty much in everything I do, in my face care, in my hair care, internally I drink it, I use it in my cooking, so we're gonna add some. Scrape down the sides a little bit because I do want to make sure that everything gets mixed in and nicely. And you guys know that I love to cook and bake, and this is just a great tip. Whenever you're mixing your ingredients, always scrape down the sides intermittently to make sure that all of the ingredients get mixed in, because you'll notice sometimes like there's a bunch of flour or salt or whatever on the side. Well, guess what? That's not getting mixed into your recipe. And baking is like science, and that's probably why I love it, because I'm kind of a nerd. But baking is like science, and if you don't have all of the components to create the chemical reaction that you want to produce your end result, then it will be off balance and it won't turn out right. So but also baking is always better if you add a dose of love. That is so true. I know it sounds so corny, but when I am cooking for people that I love, oh my gosh, it turns out so much better. Can I say it's a fact? Alright, so I am going to remove the little blade in here because I don't want to get overly excited and reach in with my hands to make a little ball and then accidentally cut myself. Sometimes I get excited about cooking. Alright, so again, we are just going to use this little mini muffin pan but you should be using just a regular pan. You'll notice the balls have like a flat surface and then they have a little scoop. So if you do have one of those little mini ice cream scoops, it's great because you just go bloop and it makes that cute little design. We don't have that. So we are just going to improvise. I'm just going to get about, this is a smaller spoon, like a teaspoon, and I'm just going to, make sure you wash your hands. Ugh. Always wash your hands before you guys cook, please. And then we're just going to push it in the middle. I'm going to try and make it cute. So you get the idea. You make all these cute little cookies. Now if you have the little scoop, it's going to make a cute design. You can make these into hearts, you can make them into just plain ball, but you see the dough's kind of sticking together, and you can see all of the coconut oil and the aquafaba wetting my hands, so it's pretty moist. And then you just push it in, and we'll fill all of those, and then we'll cook it in our oven for, now this oven's pretty warm and it cooks faster than my oven at home, so you'll want to kind of try it. What I like to do is whatever the recipe suggests, this suggests 13 to 15 minutes at 375 degrees, which is 109 degrees Celsius. I usually set it at the lower time, and then I'll check it. So I cooked these for 13 minutes in the oven. Let me grab them. And they came out kind of perfect. So this is what mine looks like, because I didn't have the little scooper. Oh, come on, light. You're being very bright. Okay, there we go. So you can see there's my little thumbprint, and then it's a yummy kind of brown on the outside. And then when I break it open, you'll see that it's moist. Okay, I need to change that light. Go. You'll see it's kind of moist on the inside. And it tastes like coconut key lime. It's so good. It's that easy. Super yummy. Healthy for you. So you don't have to feel guilty about giving these to yourself or your kids. But also, the important thing is, if you guys do have kids, or even yourself, you are teaching your kids how to eat healthy and be super conscious of what they're putting in their body. I'm afraid that so many people, adults and kids alike, grab things off the shelf because they saw a commercial about it, or their grandma used to cook it, or you know, somebody said, oh my gosh, they're so good, but you're not thinking about what is in that and what it's doing to your body. If we can eat consciously, and you guys know I talk about this all the time, if we can eat consciously and still enjoy amazing yummy things like this, but choose conscious ingredients that feed our body and promote health instead of not health, wouldn't that be amazing? And you saw how easy it is, and it's so yummy. And all of this stuff is super inexpensive. And when you do buy these things, you have leftovers. So what you do is every time you make a recipe, once you buy the ingredients for that recipe, guess what? You have a great start to make other recipes in the future with these ingredients that you bought. So next time maybe you only have to buy 2 ingredients instead of all of them, okay? And then with the leftover garbanzo beans or chickpeas, you can make hummus, you can make all kinds of yummy, delicious stuff. So don't give up. Healthy food can be delicious. Contact me if you want this recipe. I love you guys, and thanks for joining me. Have a great day. It's Monday night. Go out and party and bring these cookies to your party, and you'll be a hit.